this is mould. There's just no way of making this stuff look cute, is there? It is hot today, and I think it's going to be hot for the rest of this weekend. This is third weekend we've had in the house. We've been doing little bits here and there, but mostly, unfortunately, we've just kind of been working. I think a lot of people warn me of this problem where obviously you want to spend your whole time working on the house, but life gets in the way. I'm pretty happy with the progress, to be honest, and I'm excited that we've got some stuff lined up now. We have the plumber coming in to put in the radiators. That was like the big one that we wanted to make sure we could come into budget with. And also we've got the electrician coming in. They're doing a full rewire of the house and just making everything feel nice and safe, which is the most important thing really. It's something we didn't know that we definitely have to do in this house, like a full rewire, but I think it's important. We are both people who use lots of technology at all times, so to have like a house that feels safe, I think was a pretty priority for us. So the things that we can be getting done are obviously still stripping the walls back, stripping the floor and having a look around and then assessing how much stuff we actually need to do. We also started taking down the ceiling tiles in the living room. We wanted to have a look at those wooden tiles that we found in the previous video. I think it became pretty apparent quite quickly that they weren't in the best shape, and also they were most likely put in 60s to 80s, we think. This house has had a couple of different renovations over time, so it's quite fun piecing together when we think things are put in. Now we think that the polystyrene tiles were put in the 80s. We think that's when the carpets went down as well because of the newspaper under the floorboards. But then we think it probably had a bit more of a rigorous redecoration in the 60s. That's when they would have put things like the wooden boards. I actually looked up the board that was covering our doors. You know, it says raw board made in Sweden, and those are mid-century 60s style kind of fashionable boards at the time. So we think that that's when a lot of the woodwork was done and all that kind of stuff. And we also think that's probably when the wooden tiles went up. They also had a Masonite symbol on them, so that is another kind of Swedish 60s brand that was more popular back then. I would love to see what the house looked like through all of the different eras. Like, it would be so interesting. But yes, the ending story of that is that we got rid of the wooden squares in the living room because they were coming apart and we thought it would be better to take them down. This is obviously an old house and there are old building materials. There's almost certainly asbestos in some of that coving, probably lead paint in a lot of the skirting boards and things like that. So obviously if we were ever to want to strip that stuff, we would take those precautions, we'd get it professionally done, and that would be what we do there. But in terms of taking down those tiles, it was 100% polystyrene, large particulates. Joe is really good with me at explaining all of the science behind a lot of my fears when it comes to the house. He's been around a lot of chemistry during his PhD, so I find him very soothing in all of this as like we're taking the right precautions, we're doing the right stuff. And I think there is learning along the way. We've got some proper respiratory masks now for when we ever do any kind of sanding, and we've also just got the normal dust masks for the general sensitive things. I want to take you around and have a little show and tell of what we've done so far in the rooms, so let me take you around. So we can start in the room that we all know and love, the studio space, and take a look. We've taken the carpet up, exposed the floorboards. They're all looking pretty good actually. The only ones that are slightly loose are the ones that the electrics run under, which is obviously completely fine for now because the electricians are going to have to take out these. So what I'd love to do in here is properly clean them up a bit, and I've actually got a bit of a plan to paint these floorboards. I think that will be the nicest in here. We're definitely going to keep the wood floorboards elsewhere, but I think for the art room I really want to add a little bit of colour in here with what's going to be the white walls. As you can see a bit more in daylight now, this is the condition of the plaster, and I think again it's not too bad in here. A little bit of a warning there because that was definitely the nicest room. This one, the bathroom, is not quite looking as good. We took off these tiles previously, and as you can see there are some holes in the ceiling. I don't think I showed this in the house tour, but there's a little loft hatch that goes to like a very small amount of crawl space above here, so there is obviously roof above this ceiling. And as you can also probably see, this is mould on here, so that is good that we've obviously uncovered it, good that we found it. I mean, I really did expect this to be pretty bad condition considering all they've had up here is polystyrene tiles this whole time, and there's no way that that would be waterproof or any good. So we knew this would be one of the worst rooms in the house, so we're definitely going to have to get this reboarded, figured out, and sorted out really. Obviously it's lucky that we're not really living in this space right now, and also this room can be pretty well ventilated from the huge window. It's not damp mould, it's not continuing mould. It's obviously where the condensation has come, you know, up and around from the shower and collected all in one space. So yeah, it's not kind of active kind of mould from a lot of damp. It's just, it needs to get sorted. So looking forward to figuring that out. So this is the dining room that we have been stripping as well. So we got rid of all of the wallpaper, but this is another one where I think the condition of the plaster seems pretty decent and flat. The only issue is where they've put in the windows. There is definitely some movement there. The windows were put in, we think maybe 80s, I'm imagining, the PVC, but they were resized, so they're bigger windows, which I find really interesting that that's something they would have wanted to do. I mean, it's great for us, but you know, it has meant that there's not quite the same level of sturdiness maybe as there would be in the old Victorian stuff. In terms of the ceiling, we've got a lot of glue dots to get off at some point. I was looking up videos of the best ways to get these off, and obviously you can steam them off or you can heat gun them off, obviously with protection and a mask on and everything like that. Then are you ready for the big guns? We have started stripping the wallpaper in the living room, and then if you have a look up to the ceiling, hello! We want to get some more expert opinion and figure it out from there. The conditions of the walls are good here though. We know that this was put up in 2009 by our seller, so I'm not as worried about stripping this wallpaper. We've been steaming it off, and there's obviously a layer of paint or like a mist coat, and then just straight on to this sort of green plaster, which I'm kind of intrigued about. The green is in the hallways as well, so we wonder if that was a more original plaster. I've never really seen dark green plaster like that before, so it is curious. This is another interesting little tidbit. Look at this weird panelling stuff that we uncovered in the hallway. This was always a slightly strange shape, and then they've obviously done a sort of tongue and groove thing with it. This was also probably put up in the 60s. We are going to keep the hallways kind of as they are so that we're not tackling a whole house, and obviously the kitchen as well. Until all of the electrics are done and things, there's no point in tackling loads of stuff. For us, the most important things are to get the walls prepped and ready for exactly where the radiators are going to go. That's our kind of main thing right now, but obviously not doing anything that's going to make the job difficult for the electricians, because I'm sure the electricians are about to make a whole ton more mess. Yeah, it's definitely in quite a different state to the empty house tour, the cuteness of that. Everything was clean and nice, and now it's getting more building sitey. So my job today, because Joe is away this weekend, he is having fun on like a boat or something, is now my job to strip some wallpaper in this crazy heat. It's actually quite cool in this house though. I think stripping some of the wallpaper already has really opened up the house and it feels really airy and nice. Obviously we've done quite a lot of the living room. I don't really want to share too much of the wallpaper stripping just because it gets real steamy real quick. I want to protect the camera as best I can, but have a little look. Whilst I wait for the steamer to heat up, let me show you how easy this wallpaper has been to actually get off. So it's pretty obviously in 2 layers, and this first layer, again, we just completely lucked out because it's peelable by hand. And then this next layer is, yeah, you probably would be able to get it off with just a scraper, but we have the steamer that we borrowed off Joe's grandparents, so we're going to use it. To do it just right, sometimes it comes off in bigger pieces, so let's see if I can get any better. It's actually Joe's birthday today, which is very exciting. I love birthdays. He's not here right now, he's just out getting stuff from the other house. We're still obviously living between 2 houses, so it's hard to remember everything in one house. I thought I'd just drop in and say hi. Honestly, it's an excuse because at the moment I look nice. And every other time I've filmed this week, it's been a heat wave. You know what, I just don't think anyone needs to see that, and I don't want to edit it. Also see behind me that I've done a little bit of decorating for Joe's birthday, and yeah, it's been a lovely morning so far. I'm not going to film much more of Joe's birthday just because, I don't know, I think it's just a nice thing for us to enjoy together. Obviously we're not doing much stuff in the house today, but tomorrow we should be starting on the kitchen, which should be good. We're basically prepping for when the electricians come in next week. That's gonna change the game a bit, I think. We had gas put in this week, which was very exciting. I mean, it was genuinely exciting. They dug up outside of our house and put it in from the road because this house has never had gas in it. 21st century people. So yeah, I guess I will just try and share a little bit of when we work on the kitchen. Hope you're having a nice day wherever you are, and I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, I don't mind the little like angle. I think that's quite a useful little bit of space. I think we can make it wider when we pick it out. But yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, it's just literally could make it as big as you want it, because look how attached that is.
Yep, that's in there.
Bringing music to the people through his beautiful songs and storytelling. We're going to bring you this next track. It's a homage to him in the past, the present, and into the future.
Oh, gross. So, welcome to the house. This has made quite a change since I last kind of took us around a little bit. And the carpets are up, some of the floorboards are up. The electricians have been in. They are doing their first fix at the moment. It's all looking really good actually. I'm very, very excited to have working electrics in the house. There's just no way of making this stuff look cute, is there? It's just ugly. They've got all of the cables and everything. So I think everything is put in place, which is really exciting. That was done super quickly. And then under the stairs is where we have our electric board stuff. I guess I don't really know what I'm looking at here, but for some of you who might be more interested, big hole in the floor. And yeah, this is quite impressive as well. We've had the whole carpet taken up in here. And I love this floorboard. Please excuse my half-done job. It was that hot weekend and I really just couldn't bear to bring a wallpaper steamer. So we're gonna have sockets on either side of the bed there. So that's really nice. There's gonna be one here, well, like a double here, underneath my dressing table, which I'm so excited about. I remember when we were like, let's take it one room at a time. I think the days of that are a little bit over. You get quite excited about this stuff though. It could be a lot worse. It may get worse before it gets better. Once it has new electrics and radiators, it's going to just feel like a whole new space, and I think that's what's going to be really exciting, just to think that we've brought so much stuff to the house already. So I think I might finish this video up here just because it's an opportunity to finish a house video. I want to try and be quite regular with these videos, but whilst all this stuff is going on, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything. We've had Joe's birthday and I haven't felt great after our second vaccine. Also working full time and trying to actually do enough stuff in the house. It's just been a bit of a crazy month really, but we're starting a fresh new month and I'm excited to see what August has in store for us. So thank you so much for watching this video and I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a like, share it with your friends if you are enjoying this kind of thing, and subscribe if you'd like to. Obviously it's free, you can click the button down below so you'll just know when I make a new video. Hope you have a great week and I will see you in the next video. Bye everyone!